takes a little bit. On a 50-degree Monday night, we welcome you to the Helm Gymnasium on the campus of the Los Gatos Wildcats for SCVAL basketball right here on Central Coast Sports Broadcasting on YouTube Live, bringing you CCS sports all the way through the sectional playoffs. Good evening, everyone. Alongside Spencer McLaughlin, I'm Carlo Jimenez as we get set for a SCVAL matchup between the 10-5 Los Altos Eagles and the 6-8 Los Gatos Wildcats. It should be a defensive matchup tonight between the Eagles and the Cats, as neither team averages scoring over 51 points per game this season. Spencer, when two defense-first teams go at it, how do the strategies change for both sides?
Well, it comes down to execution, quite frankly, as both coaches have to be on top of their game, and you have to have a good week of practice. In the last 8 quarters, get this, the last 8 quarters of offense between these two teams, just 2 has either side scored 10 points or more, 1 apiece in each of their last games. So both teams clearly struggling on offense, but it really comes down to execution. I was speaking to Los Gatos head coach Jamon Osby in the pregame. He said that his team is getting too hurried. They're not being patient. They're not getting into their sets, and they're just kind of being way too chaotic. So it comes down to execution from the coaches and from the players as well on the court.
Well, for the home team, Los Gatos Wildcats, it's been a season of new beginnings. The Wildcats come off a record year as they won for the first time CCS Division I, although last June, Los Gatos graduated every starter and Nick Ward stepped down as the head coach. So far, the Wildcats have struggled to find that first league win and are looking to get back on track here tonight. On the other side, the Los Altos Eagles are currently in the midst of a 2-game losing streak, their first and longest losing streak of the year. Los Altos will rely on their stellar defense, holding teams to an average of 44 points per game this season. The Eagles were eliminated from CCS playoffs in the semifinals last year by the Wildcats and hope to get revenge on the road tonight. Once again, I'm Carlo Jimenez alongside Spencer McLaughlin. This is a Central Coast Sports broadcast of the CCS Basketball Game of the Week. Tip-off is 13 minutes away. Well, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to the Central Coast Broadcast pregame show. Here's some recent scores from both teams. Spencer, Los Altos losing to Palo Alto 62-50, and Los Altos also coming off a loss against Cupertino 43-36. So first of all, we want to give a shout out to our sponsor, BSN Sports. Since 1972, your ultimate leader of team sports apparel and equipment in the U.S. Call John Gillette for more information, 408-209-6433. Let's jump into our Gonzales Irrigation System game-changing three-pointers. Since 1985, let Gonzales Irrigation Systems provide design, installation, parts, and service for all your berry, row crops, orchard, and vineyard needs, including sprinklers, filters, meters, and booster pumps. And GIS proudly offers Netafim irrigation products. Contact GIS at 831-675-2376. Well, Spencer, let's start with the home team. Los Gatos coming off an historic season-winning D1 playoff, CCS D1 playoffs. New coach, a lot of new players. They are struggling here early. What does you talked about it a little bit earlier, but can you tell us more about what does Los Gatos have to do with this brand new starting lineup, brand new coach to try to find their rhythm here early?
Well, sometimes it can be tough in high school and college sports to maintain high levels of success. It's why things like the Alabama football dynasty, which, somewhat came to an end, but not really, last Monday night over in Santa Clara. But it's why it's so hard, because there's constant change. There's constant turnover. And developing players in such a short amount of time can be really, really difficult, and especially in the high school level. In college, you're able to recruit players, and kind of maintain a certain level of success or dominance in the case of certain teams like Alabama and Clemson for football. But at high school, you have the players that you have. Transfers are really not as common and often even frowned upon, and in my opinion, rightfully so. But it can be really hard to be good year in and year out, and we see that Los Gatos winning it all last year, struggling so far this year, but sometimes it just takes time. When you have a new coach, new players, the coach is trying to put in his own new system, it can take time. Sometimes it doesn't all click in the first year. Sometimes it clicks the next year and then not the next one. It just kind of depends on the players that you've got, the system you're running, and how the players buy into it and how much they all fit into it as well. And so we'll see if they can continue to make some offensive adjustments here tonight.
And for Los Altos, struggling to score the basketball this season, 3 games with under 40 points and averaging only 46 a game. Do the Eagles need to focus on clamping down on the defensive end, or does the offense have to improve for this Los Altos team to make a run late in the season?
I think the offense has to improve. You can be a defensively oriented squad, but that level of scoring is just not going to get you very far in the playoffs. So Los Altos really does need to make some offensive adjustments. And it's like I mentioned earlier, I think it's going to come down to execution. And something that we're seeing here tonight, this is not a regular full-size court. It's a little bit smaller, so the distance between the three-point line and the half-court line is not very big. So sometimes what you can see is what Los Gatos head coach Jamon Osby mentioned to me. Teams will hurry. They'll get out of their sets, out of their rhythm, or not even get into their rhythm at all. So it's really going to come down to execution on the offensive end and the ability for Los Altos, to change the feeling that they've had in the last couple games where they've struggled offensively, and to work together as a cohesive unit if they're going to get it done.
And finally, head-to-head, Los Gatos has won the last 4 matchups and 7 of the last 8 between the twos. Although the Wildcats are struggling this year, Spencer, will this be the year that Los Altos flips the script? It
certainly seems like it, doesn't it? I mean, you look at Los Gatos comes in 6-8, Los Altos at 10-5, just having a much better overall season, and Los Gatos is going through some change right now. That's a really good chance to exploit a team who historically you've struggled against. So I think if there was going to be, kind of a statement win in this rivalry going forward, that tonight would probably be the night you'd see it done.
Well, that was our game-changing three-pointers brought to you by Gonzales Irrigation, serving the Monterey, San Benito, Santa Cruz, and Santa Clara counties. Remember, call 831-675-2376. You're listening to the Central Coast Sports Broadcasting pregame show. Time now for our X's and O's. Since 1988, Coastal Grower Magazine has been a local favorite for the people in the agriculture industry and those involved with the agriculture business here on the Central Coast. Visit www.coastalgrowermag.com. Well, for Los Gatos, defensively, hold to Los Altos under 35, and you're almost guaranteed to win. Los Altos has lost all 5 games when they have scored under 35. Do you think that's a feasible goal here for the Wildcats?
Well, the other side of the ball has been struggling on offense, so it is a feasible goal, but they'd have to get over 35 themselves in order for that to become relevant. I think we definitely could see a defensive struggle tonight, but I wouldn't be shocked either if both teams kind of start to figure it out offensively and get a little lax at the defensive end, feeling the pressure from the other side to make up if one side gets it going. But I think something that's going to be really big in this game is early momentum. Both of these teams have lost 2 games in a row, and when teams come out on those kinds of losing streaks and they can get worried about doing it again if they don't get off to a good start. So I look for whichever team to come out, execute early, get the offense going early to have a big advantage in this game and likely win it.
And for Los Altos, the visitors, offensively, Los Gatos loves to press the basketball. And I think if you're able to break the press, but how do you break a press in such a small court, as you mentioned, Spencer?
Yeah, no, it's definitely an advantage for the defense because you just don't physically have as much space to move around when you're running that press break. But there's 2 keys to a good press break. One, a good point guard. The point guard is the floor general. He's the quarterback on the court. He's the one directing the offense when they're trying to beat that press. Number 2, patience. You cannot get hurried. Getting hurried is exactly what the defense wants, and I'm sure it's what head coach Jamon Osby wants from his Los Gatos players on the defensive end. But if you're Los Altos and head coach Trevor Nass, you cannot panic when the press comes. You know it's going to come after made basket. You can't be surprised by it. You've got to stick with your sets, know what you're doing, trust what you've done in practice, and then come out and execute, but don't be too frantic.
Well, that was our X's and O's statement, sponsored by Coastal Grower Magazine. We want to give another shout-out to Vulcan Materials, the nation's largest producer of gravel, sand, and crushed stone to keep with this growing economy. For more information, visit www.vulcanmaterials.com. Well, we will get set for our national anthem coming up here as tip-off is just under 7 minutes away. But it is time now for our Netafim irrigation starting lineups, offering the best-in-class irrigation solutions, helping you do more with water. That's Netafim Drip Irrigation. Contact Mark Clifton at 831-258-8089. Well, starting for the home team, Los Gatos Wildcats, it'll be John Jeffrey, the point guard who has the task here for Los Gatos. He decides the tempo of the game, says Jamon Osby, and is a big-time scorer from the three-point line. Braden Taormina, the junior point guard, younger brother of Kay Taormina, who started last year here for Los Gatos. Corey Brown, another junior starter. Those are the will start as a good three-point shooter, averaging 5 points a game this season. Marko Mihalovic, the power forward senior, if there's one guy who Jamon Osby could point out, he said this guy, he allows them to be very flexible in terms of how they substitute because he can play so many positions, and Jamon really praised him for that ability. And finally, Noah Newberry, the third senior in the starting lineup, second year on varsity, super athletic, a lot of hustle plays, says Jamon, and he will do a lot of things that don't show in the stat book. Spencer, if you had to pick one of those guys who needs to have a good game tonight, who is it for Los Gatos?
I think it's got to be John Joffrey, the point guard, because like I said, point guards are the quarterbacks on the floor. They're kind of the coach on the floor, and a lot of coaches see that, and point guards dictate the pace of the game. It goes at their pace. If they want to get out and run, the team gets out and run. If he wants to slow it up, then the team is going to slow it up. And in a game where offense could be hard to come by on either side, the way the point guard directs the offense, gets everyone into their sets, keeps them composed and under control is going to be really important tonight.
And then the starting lineup for the visiting Los Altos Eagles, Eric Jones will start, the junior, 5'9 junior, averaging about 5 rebounds a game at shooting guard, and only 5'9. Jones definitely gets in the mix on the boards. Nimin Tetz at 5'11, a senior captain, leads the team in scoring with 10.8. Also starting will be Brock Susko, the second sophomore on this team, lone sophomore starter, averaging 10 points a game and 5 rebounds a game. Antonio Benavidez at 6'2", first team All-JV last year here in the SCVAL. And rounding out the lineup, Chris Snell, the 6-foot senior, captain, voted on as by the coaches, and averaging 9 points a game. Again, which one of these guys needs to play well tonight for Los Altos to get the 500 in league?
Well, I'm looking at Brock Susko right now, just a sophomore playing on varsity. That's not a super common thing. It does happen from time to time, but in this type of environment, Los Gatos likes to run kind of a high-pressure defense. Like you mentioned, we will see some full-court pressure from him tonight. I wonder how the sophomore is going to be able to handle himself in that environment, because it's easy to sit here and say, oh, you just got to stay calm, you just got to stay composed, but we're sitting here in suits and ties on the sideline, and we're not having to face that pressure out on the court. So, you're only as strong as your weakest link at any point, but especially when you're breaking the press. So Los Altos is going to have to be solid 1 through 5, beating any kind of pressure they see from Los Gatos tonight.
It should be an interesting one here tonight. Talking to Coach Osby before the game, he mentioned one thing. The only thing that's been consistent with this team, Spencer, was inconsistency. And I think that made him laugh a little bit. A team that, when he mentioned each starter, said, this guy's improving every game. This guy's improving every game. So it does look like Los Gatos is trending to be a second-half team this year. But what are really the keys for them to make that jump from being 0-2 and trending upward to being towards the top of this SCVAL?
Well, it's like I talked about. It all comes down to execution. And when you have a new coach, there's 3 seniors in the starting lineup for Los Gatos and 2 juniors who might have gotten some playing time last year, but the seniors for sure. So they're adjusting to a new system, and it's not easy, especially for these kids who are kids. They're really young. It is hard to make that kind of adjustment in 1 year and start to buy into your new coach and believe in your new coach. And maybe they are, but it seems that, so far they haven't quite made the adjustment at the rate that they maybe would have liked to. So I think they just kind of have to trust their coach and what he's telling them to do and the system that he's trying to put in, and they have to play together as a unit. You can't have a lot of iso ball out there.
And then both teams coming off 2 straight losses here in league. You're going to come out antsy. You're going to go out hungry. You want to get back in the win category. How do you kind of make sure that you are playing antsy enough but not too much to where you're making silly mistakes that you wouldn't normally make?
You have to set the tone early. It's all in the first 3, maybe 4 minutes or so about who's going to dictate the game, who's going to control the game, unless the other team is able to make some drastic adjustments. But I think the first 3-4 minutes, like I mentioned earlier, for these teams who have both lost 2 in a row, are going to be essential here to get a win tonight and for them to pick up a league win.
Well, that will conclude our Central Coast Sports pregame show. Tip-off is just under 2 minutes away as we get set for this one tonight. Spencer, any last thoughts before we get ready for tip-off?
I think turnovers are going to be key. I mean, it's kind of been insinuated from everything that we've been talking about here. It's not a very big court. Both teams like to run a high-pressure, kind of fat, and also high pressure on defense and fast on offense as well. I was talking to Jamon Osby. He said that both teams run a 5-out motion. So what you're going to see tonight is a lot of guys handling the ball on the perimeter and then a lot of ball screens coming right to it. So what that also enables when you have that 5-out motion is it allows guys to release up the court very quickly. He stressed transition defense. He said that that's going to be a big focus for them tonight. And so you have to be able to not allow those easy buckets on defense, but offensively, you've got to know when to attack, but also when to get into your sets.
So as both teams come to their benches here, we get set for this one tonight between the Los Gatos Eagles and the Los Altos Eagles, Los Gatos Wildcats, correction. I'm stumbling on my words here. I'll get it by the end of the game.
You would hope.
Both teams had old Jamon Osby, first-year coach. Trevor Noss in only his 3rd year. Los Gatos in the home whites with the orange trim, black lettering with orange trim around the letters. The Los Gatos is in cursive across the chest with the Under Armour logo on the left side of the jersey. For Los Altos in the away blues with the white lettering and gray trim, the Nike logo on their left chest. So both teams call break, and we'll set for tip-off here in Los Gatos. Looks like I would assume it's Noah Newberry taking the tip here for Los Gatos. One thing you notice right away, Spencer, Los Gatos is a long team as they walk out here. A lot of lanky guys.
Yeah, you mentioned Mihalovic when you were doing the starting lineups and how he's not really, he's listed as a power forward, but he's not really just a power forward. That's something that we see becoming more and more common at all levels of basketball is these kind of positionless guys, and teams rolling out a lot of positionless lineups almost aside from maybe a point guard. So I look for him to have an impact tonight.
Benavidez, and it will be Brown. Brown wins it over to Newberry. And here comes Los Gatos. Joffrey will walk it across the timeline with a right-hand dribble. Being watched by Tetz. Gives it near side over to Mihalovic. Mihalovic up top. Far side, Joffrey's got it. Joffrey's going to drive to the rim. Now jump stops. Gives it outside over to Mihalovic. Mihalovic with the right hand straight on over to Brown. Brown takes a dribble. Now picks up the dribble up top. Right side. They go down low. Newberry. Newberry right block. Up with the right hand. Air ball. Rebound by Tetz. And here comes Los Altos.
And well defended there by Los Altos at the other end. The double team came on the baseline. Forced the tough shot.
Down low. Benavidez has the height advantage. Turnaround jumper. Couldn't draw iron. And so 2 straight air balls for both teams. And here comes Los Gatos the other way.
And that was a quick shot there. Don't know if that's exactly what Trevor Nass wanted on their first offensive possession.
A minute gone by, a turnover by Los Gatos. Looked like Taormina lost it in transition, so here comes Tetz the other way. Tetz crosses over to left hand, down the left alley, up with the right hand, backboard, but no iron. Rebound taken away by Mihalovic, and here comes Los Gatos the other way.
Yeah, Mihalovic bringing it across the court. Like I mentioned, he can handle the ball, so definitely a guy who should be highly involved in the offense tonight. Looks like they like to work him in that high post area, let him catch the ball and set some screens as well.
Joffrey's got it straight on. He's looking down low for Mihalovic. Mihalovic takes a dribble, goes up, and gets fouled. So Marko Mihalovic, interesting fact about him, Mihalovic is averaging 7 points a game. That's the leading scorer here for Los Gatos for a team that has struggled to score the basketball as he walks to the line.
And it was a really good, smart take there as he caught the ball kind of in that high post area. And I think, the pass was kind of leading him towards the basket, but he smartly realized that the defender was there, so he pulled it back. He faced him up, made a nice little jab step, and got to the rim, drew the foul. It was a really nice early play there from Marko Mihalovic.
Couldn't draw twine on the first free throw. 6:37 to play here in the first. No score so far, and gets the second one to drop home. So Mihalovic has got a bucket, and here comes the 2-2-1 press from Los Gatos. Back got it is Susko. Susko looking for Tetz, and it's tipped out of bounds by Joffrey, but it will be Los Altos basketball near midcourt.
And not surprising to see Los Gatos in the 2-2-1 press. The way you want to beat that is get the ball right in the middle of it. Once you get the ball in the middle of that 2-2 set, then the defense has to either collapse on you and open up space on the outside, or they'll just kind of retreat and accept defeat. So if you're Los Altos, that's where your position, or where you want to position a guy, and definitely focus the ball.
1-0 Los Gatos on top. Here comes Los Altos looking for their first bucket so far tonight with 6:24 to play in the first. Tetz has got it, directing traffic, gets it up top to Shell. Far near side, Jones has it. Free throw line extended, bounces it up top. Now far side, Snell looking down low. They get it down low. Layup at the rim, got it to go. That's Susko, the sophomore, and it's 2-1. Los Altos will take the lead.
And good patience there by Los Altos, not forcing a shot, a lot of passing and cutting, and a couple ball screens in that 5-out motion. Like I mentioned, now Los Gatos running something similar, but great execution by Los Altos.
Here's a shot taken at the free throw line by Brown off the back iron, and Los Altos has a chance to extend the 1-point lead here with just under 6 to play. Here's near side. They go down low, inside to Benavidez. Up top, jumper taken by Susko. Off the front of the iron, rebound by Mihalovic. Mihalovic is going to push.
I like that look there by Susko.
5:30 to play here, 2-1 Los Altos on top. They give it straight on. Now far side, here's Joffrey. Joffrey back up top to Brown. Brown finding the driving Taormina, and Taormina cannot get it to go on the layup.
And that one was forced a little bit. He had two guys in his face. He needed to find the open man as soon as he saw that second defender come to him from the help side.
Far corner Snell, back up top, taps 2-1. Los Altos on top, looking to extend the lead right here. Here's Snell, straight on to Jones. Jones has Eric Jones, the 5'9" senior. Dribbles with the right hand, gives it far side to Snell. Snell with 10 to shoot, bounces it up top to Susko. Susko, right side Jones. He'll try from distance, way off. Rebound taken by Mihalovic, and here comes Los Gatos the other way.
And that's a shot and a miss you'll live with if you're Los Altos. It's a good look by a capable shooter.
Here's Mihalovic on the drive. Spin move, couldn't get it to go, but Newberry's there, and he'll get fouled going up. Noah Newberry, as we mentioned, a hustler, and he's able to get the offensive rebound, and now will shoot two, able to take the lead here for Los Gatos.
And just poor box out there by Los Altos, not getting a body on Newberry at all, and now he's getting a chance for the 2 points at the free throw line right here.
Newberry's first one is true. So 2-2 we're tied as Oliver Aristil will check into the game. Sitting down will be Corey Brown. Aristil averaging about 4 points a game, his second year on varsity at Los Gatos.
One of those guys that I mentioned is having to deal with the coaching change. One last year, now Jamon Osby this year.
Newberry couldn't hit the second free throw, so we're tied at 2 with 4:35 to play. Here comes Los Altos the other way, chance to take the lead. Up top, here's Tetz. Dribbles with the left hand, lost it, and taken away here by Los Gatos, and immediately Tetz fouls Joffrey trying to go the other way.
And a smart foul there by Nemin Tetz because he saw the fast break coming. Not a clear path foul at all. He was well in front of the defender, didn't do anything drastic to get an intentional or flagrant. That's a smart play there by the Eagles point guard.
Lewis will check into the game for Tetz. Chris Lewis, the senior point guard, will guard Joffrey. Joffrey with the left hand gives it to Mihalovic, over to Newberry. Newberry goes up top to Taormina. Down low now Mihalovic in the paint. Fall away jumper from 10 and a pretty shot by Marko Mihalovic.
And a tough one too, with a defender in his face. Barely got that one off, but still got it to go. That's a good shot there from Mihalovic.
And traveling is called, and Los Gatos has forced a turnover already with this press. 4:02 to play here in the first.
And that's something that I talked about earlier in the pregame, is when a team presses, you'll see guys kind of rush themselves and be in a hurry. And right there we saw Chris Lewis, who just checked in, not able to deal with the pressure there and just got a little bit of happy feet on the press, even though he was not pressured at all.
4-2, just over halfway through this first quarter. Los Gatos up top, still on the drive, count it, and the foul.
And a great take there, working his way around. What you see in this 5-out motion is you've got all the guys on the perimeter and you force the defense down at the help side, but really what it does is it opens up the lane a lot, either for bigs or for driving wings. And right there, we saw Aristil get to the bucket as he's not able to convert the free throw. We saw him get to the bucket and take advantage of those openings, and they're going to be there later in the game as well.
So 6-2 on top, Los Gatos with their largest lead at 4, 3:38 to play here in the first. Here is the 5-out here from Los Altos. Up top, it is Susko. Susko's going to give it to the corner. Snell will try a three off the back of the iron, but rebound falls to Jones. Jones gives it over to Lewis. Up top, and it's fresh 35 here for Los Altos. They call out a play, and Jones will take it straight on, looking to set up. Jones with the left hand, hands off over to Lewis. Lewis looking inside for Snell. Couldn't get it to him. Almost turned it over, but gets the ball back. Now finds Shell. Shell gives it up top. Here's a drive. Corner by Jones. He's going to take it in. 18-footer from the right side. Too strong, and Aristil with the rebound.
And it's a good look once again there from Eric Jones. He's got to take that shot for head coach Trevor Nass. That's a good look, and he's clearly a capable shooter. Just hasn't gotten his first two to go.
Here's Aristil, right wing, dribbling with the left hand. 22 to shoot here for Los Gatos, who's up 4. Here's a 3-ball. Mihalovic got it. Marko Mihalovic has got 6. of the 9 for Los Gatos, and Los Altos will call time. Shout out to Arnie von Massenhausen and Hove Services Lending. First-time home buyer or looking to refinance your current mortgage. Work with an experienced home mortgage consultant to find a solution that best fits your needs. Call Arnie today, 408-858-4906 and NMLS number 280979.
So Marko Mahalovic, a guy I highlighted in the pregame, really doing it all right now for Los Gatos. He's shown us the inside game. He showed us the little mid-range fadeaway, and right there, knocking down the 3, showing why he's one of those versatile players, leading the team and scoring at 7 a game. I'm pretty sure he's already got 7 here tonight as the score is 9-2, but Los Altos defensively is just doesn't have an answer for him individually. You know, when you have that 5-out motion against a man-to-man defense, it leaves guys on an island from time to time, depending on how much you want to help off the corner. And traditionally, you're taught to not help off the corner and to let the backside help. But that opens up one-on-one opportunities for Marko Mahalovic, and so far he's been taking advantage.
Yeah, when he gets the ball, you see him immediately look to score. That's the first thing he looks to do. He's a scorer, and he has been playing with a lot of confidence, and why not? He's got 6 of their 9. And Los Gatos is up 9-2 here with 2:43 to play in the first as both teams come out.
And Los Altos now is going to be facing the pressure, but they've got to relax. So they've got to get a guy, usually a big, in the middle of that 2-2-1, but avoid the sides, because that's where Los Gatos wants you to go, is on the sides where they can trap and rotate guys over to steal the passes.
Well, Lewis picks it up in the death spot. He is trapped, and somehow he gets it over to Jones. That's not the spot you want to take it, right over the half-court line and in that corner.
He got away with the travel, too.
Here's Jones going right side over to Lewis. Lewis gives it up top, Shell. Shell left-hand dribble. Near side into the checked in Lunsford. Lunsford gives it into the corner. Now Jones has it. Jones dribbling with the right hand, straight on Lewis. Far side here, Shell's got to shoot with 2. Long 3 and nothing but nylon. What a shot there from Chris Shell, who's got his first points of the game.
And we've seen him not be shy about shooting the 3, his second attempt already, but not a great offensive possession overall.
Aristo will try a 3. That one's off the front iron. Jones looks to push. 9-5, Los Gatos on top, just under 2 to play here in the first. Here's a layup down low by Lunsford, rejected by Newberry. Second shot opportunity, he is fouled. As Hunter Lunsford will walk to the line to shoot a pair.
And great job running the floor there by the big Hunter Lunsford, but that's something that Jamon Osby, head coach for Los Gatos, talked about in the pregame, was transition defense. It was a great push by Eric Jones and Los Altos to get all the way down the court. He found the man streaking ahead, and it leads to a chance at the free throw line. So Los Gatos defensively has got to get back better, and they've got to not allow those easy chances at the basket.
Checking into the game, Nathan White, along with Braden Tawaramina and Raj Rao. As here is the second free throw, and 0 for 2 at the line goes Lunsford. And here comes Rao the other way. Raj Rao averaging 6 points a game here for Los Gatos. Will bounce it near side to Tawaramina. Tawaramina with the left hand gives it up top to White. White going inside. Now they give it out to Newberry. Newberry's going to drive up with the right hand, and a blocking foul is called. Noah Newberry with a fearless attack to the bucket, and it looks like he's going to get 2 more free throws.
And Trevor Nass making an adjustment at the defensive end for his Los Altos players. We saw him come out there in a little bit of a zone look. Looks like it's a 2-3, so not liking what Los Gatos' 5-man motion was doing to his defense, and he changes it up, but good adjustment there immediately from Los Gatos, running a little high-low action, getting the ball to the free throw line, and then cutting to the opening of the wing. And the Los Altos, quite frankly, is fortunate that Los Gatos is not on the free throw line.
And Newberry is called for passing as they clean up some sweat on that right block. Well, Newberry, the second-year varsity player, averaging 4 points a game. 6'3", 175 senior as they line up in a box here with Rao taking it out of bounds underneath. 9-5, 129 to play here in the first quarter. Los Gatos on top. Here's a pass out up top. They give it to Tawaramina. Tawaramina to Rao. Rao thought about a 3. Now he's going to give it straight on. Here's a 3 by Brown, and Brown is too strong off the iron. White with the nice with the offensive rebound as Newberry tries to save it from going out of bounds, but he stepped on the line, and Los Altos will get the basketball.
And so far the zone proven to be just effective enough for Los Altos, but Los Gatos is doing a decent job of getting into their offensive set and not being fazed by the zone.
Here is Jones up top. He has been in all this first quarter. Altos down by 4, looking to make it a single possession ball game right here. Minute to play in the first. Here is Shell. Shell gives it over to Cook. Connor Cook, who's checked in, finds Jones. Jones going to take it to the rim, up with the right hand, rolls around and out, but is going to be a foul on the ground. Looks like that one's going to go against Braden Taormina. As coming to the scores table is Mihalovic for the final 51.7 of the first.
And I think the foul must have been called on the rebound because it looked like Jones didn't really get touched going up, and if he did, then he certainly would have been shooting. So I think that foul came on the offensive rebound.
Jones to inbound the ball. He gives it into the near corner, now out to Cook. Here is Jones back on the right wing with the ball. 30 to shoot, fresh shot clock here for the Eagles. Jones with the left hand, drifts up top, finds Cook, over to Shell. Shell's gonna turn, fire, back iron too strong, rebound long, out to Jones. Jones drives, no traveled but not called, and Newberry grabs the miss from 5 feet. Eric Jones just could not knock down the easy jumper, maybe surprised by how open he was in that paint.
And now it kind of looks like Los Altos is coming in sort of a 1-2-2 extended zone pressure, so changing up their defensive looks. That's already the third we've seen in this first quarter.
Here's a take by Brown now. Left stop, 9 to shoot here for Los Gatos, down by, up by 4. Here's Mihalovic into the lane, up with the right hand, way off the backboard, no rim. And Jones will fire one from the other side. Hit the iron, but nothing more. And that's going to bring us to the end of quarter number 1, 9-5. After one here in Los Gatos, well, Spencer, I think what we expected, a low-scoring first quarter. Every bucket counted, and Los Altos and a total combined of 14 points.
Yeah, I mean, at both ends of the floor, really, it's been similar stories for these teams. Is everything happens very fast. There's nothing overly methodical. We saw Los Altos actually get into a nice set there for their last possession at the end of the quarter, but other than that, everyone is still going really fast. Just like head coach Jamon Osby told me in the pregame that he has seen his team doing, that has led to these offensive struggles. So if I'm the coaches right now talking to my players in the timeout before the next quarter, I'm saying, look, it's still a game. There's nothing, nothing's been blown out of proportion yet, but we've got to slow down. Everything is very, very fast. And I think it's especially the case for Los Altos because they're dealing with the pressure from Los Gatos, and once they beat that, they're kind of in a hurry and they're hustling and bustling and trying to get past it, but then they're not really getting into their sets. But I have to compliment Trevor Nass. He's done his best to really try to get them to slow down once they beat it, and he's called out several plays, and I think he's going to keep doing a better job of that as the game goes on, and he needs to if his offense is going to execute better.
Well, Central Coast Sports is your source for high school sports all year long. Follow up through the regular season and into the 2019 CCS playoffs. Appreciate your thoughts and feedbacks. Drop us a line at ccsblive@gmail.com and go to our website, centralcoastsports.live, and follow us on Facebook, Central Coast Sports Broadcasting. Well, 9-5, Los Gatos on top here against Los Altos, the home team, who did lead Palo Alto for a half. But that lead disintegrated, so Los Altos trying to not make the same mistake as they come out here in a 1-1-3 zone. As Los Altos will try to combat that. Here's Lunsford at the near block. He's going to give it into the corner. 3 ball coming from Cook, air ball, but Shell comes up with the rebound. Now, here's Cook up top. They give it to Shell. Shell back straight on to Susko. Susko's now got it. Into the right side, Shell, back up top, Susko. Good defense here by Los Gatos. 5 to shoot. Susko's going to have to fire up from up top. Rolls around the rim and out. Rebound taken by Los Gatos, and they'll push, trying to extend the 9-5 lead.
And I like the defensive call there from Jamon Osby, changing it up, coming right out of the quarter, because Los Altos probably not expecting it.
Here's Brown from 5, too strong on the jumper. And here comes Los Altos, beating the presses. Lunsford with the left hand, left it short. Hunter Lunsford beat everybody. Now he steals the ball as Los Altos tried to give it to Joffrey, or Los Gatos tried to give it to Joffrey on the way back. Here in the right corner is checked in Cook. Over up top to Susko. 6:53 to play. Los Gatos up 9-5 here in the second quarter. Cook's got it near side. Being watched there by Olasek as his pass is taken away by Aristil, and a foul is called, and Los Gatos will get the basketball. Well, 2 straight turnovers for both teams, Spencer. And as you mentioned, turnovers were going to be a big part of this game.
Yeah, and they have been, and it's slowed both offensive production. But Connor Cook there on the wing with just a lazy entry pass to his big man down low, Antonio Benavidez. The pass was there for a moment, but then he waited too long, and then when he decided to make it, he just kind of lobbed it in there. Those are not the type of sharp, crisp execution plays that any coach wants to see from his team. You got to be decisive. You got to know what you're doing and where you're supposed to go with the ball and when.
So back in this zone is Los Altos. Here on the right block is Brown. Up top, Aristil. Aristil's going to drive to the rim, up with the right hand, and gets the layup to go. Oliver Aristil's got 4, and it's 11-5 Los Gatos on top. Here with 6:12 to play.
And right out of it, right out of the made basket, press coming from Los Gatos. They're going to stick with it as long as it's been effective, and so far it has kept Los Altos out of any kind of offensive rhythm.
Up top, here is Susko, and he is fouled by Aristil, trying to do a little too much with the body. As coming to the scores table is Rao. And Rao's going to check in for Joffrey. And also Taormina will check in along with Jones for Los Altos. Sitting down will be Aristil, and sitting down for Los Altos will be Cook. So 5:59 to play here in the second quarter. 11-5 Los Gatos on top at home. Here in the right wing, Benavidez up at the rim, blocked away by Brown. Ball on the deck. Nice hustle by Jones as they give it up top. Here's right wing Shell. Back straight on to Jones. Jones has it. Near side is Susko. Susko with the left hand. Thought about going to the rim. Now gives it up top to Benavidez. Benavidez finds Jones. Jones with the left hand dribble. 15 to shoot here for the Eagles. Jones looking. Finds into the corner. Benavidez. Benavidez is driving on Brown. Lost the ball. Taken away by Taormina. Push here for Los Gatos. Over to Mihalovic. Mihalovic behind the back. Crow step. Couldn't get the layup to go. They find up top Brown. Wide open. 3 ball. Count it. Corey Brown from downtown, and it's 14-5. Los Gatos on a 5-0 run.
And it was a great find by Olasek to find the open man at the top of the key. Drove baseline, collapsed the zone, and smartly threw it back out. Too many times tonight, both teams we've seen get into the lane and just kind of have a I'm going to shoot no matter what mentality. But it was a great read by the big for Los Gatos, Olasek, to make that pass out on time and on target.
Just under 5 to play here. Los Gatos up by 9 as they get a steal. Here comes Raul the other way. Behind the back dribble is a turnover as Jones will push for Los Altos. Pace starting to pick up here, Spencer, in this second quarter. Here's a drive. Going with the left hand, Lunsford. Lunsford's layup is unable to drop home, and Los Gatos is going to walk it up right here. Timeout, Jamon Osby, as we were going to take a break, and we'll read you some commercials. Looking for a fresh, rich Sicilian-style pizza? Come check out Pomodoro Pizza, 6932 Almaden Expressway, San Jose, for your ultimate pizza experience. Stop by today.
I've had Pomodoro before.
Is it pretty good?
It's quality pizza. I could go for a slice of pizza right now, but I've been told it's not good for your health.
I have heard it's not the best. It's not the best.
We're Americans. We eat it anyway.
So 4:30 to play here in the second. Los Gatos comes out on a 5-0 run, which is pretty much like a 20-0 run in this game. And
that's true.
What are you seeing so far from the Wildcats out of the first quarter?
Well, in the second quarter, I've actually liked what I've seen from Los Altos at the offensive end. They're doing a much better job of getting into their sets, but like I said, their execution's been just a little bit off. They've had a couple of sloppy, messy turnovers, but they have gotten some good looks at the rim, and they just haven't gotten them to drop. And when you're in an offensive drought like this, really sometimes all it takes is one basket, one person to see the ball go through, for the whole team to see the ball go through, to kind of give everyone the confidence that they need to really start hitting their shots. Because, I mean, in the last possession, they had a good look at the rim. They've missed a couple of jumpers, but I look for them to keep up with the offensive execution. You got to stay patient. It does feel like an eternity in this game, but 9 points is a very manageable deficit, especially since we're not even halfway through the second quarter.
4:25 to play, 14-5. Los Gatos on top with the ball, looking to make it a double-digit lead. Here's down low Mihalovic, follow-away jumper. That's a pretty shot, too short on that one. And here comes Jones. Los Altos is looking to push the pace. Jones bound low to Lunsford. Nice pass, and better block by Brown. Here comes Brown to Mihalovic. Mihalovic driving, crossover, lost the ball. And Spencer, if he looks up right there, Noah Newberry is wide open, running into the lane.
Yeah, he does. And, I mean, Mihalovic had the hot hand early but hasn't made his last couple. But no matter how hot you are, you got to have your head up on that fast break. He had Newberry wide open for a layup.
Here's Raul, 3-ball, left wing, count it for Raj Rao. He's got his first 3 of the night, and it is a 8-0 run here for Los Gatos, up 17-5 here in the second. Here's a 3-ball far side. Snell looking to answer. Newberry the rebound, and Raul's gonna walk it up.
And we've seen Los Gatos in their last couple possessions be very patient. Their offensive execution has been much better against man and against zone. That's exactly what Jamon Osby wanted to see from his team, and he's got to be pleased with the results so far tonight.
Here's Tower Amina up top, 3:24 to play. Los Gatos up 12. Down low looking for Newberry, and a foul is going to be called. 3:20 to play here in the second. Spencer, Los Altos yet to find a bucket.
It's just been, they just haven't gotten it to go. I mean, you look at the last possession, I think they did a really good job of taking the ball out quick against the zone pressure. That's a great way to get to beat a zone, is to take out quickly before the defense can set up. And you know, Shell had a good look at a 3 and wasn't able to knock it down. So it's going to take someone making a bucket to jumpstart Los Altos and really get them going offensively, because so far they just have not been able to find any kind of rhythm or any kind of consistency. Still just 5 points.
Gilmore checks in for Mihalovic as the free throw is off to the right for Newberry. Here comes Los Altos. Tetz looking to take it coast to coast. Gives Jones left wing. Jones back Tetz in the corner. Tetz has it. Working against Tana Maria. Taking a baseline. Running out of real estate. Layup. Left it short. Rebound Lunsford. Lunsford couldn't get it to go. And a rebound taken by Newberry. 3:04 to play. 17-5. Los Gatos on top. Here's a pump fake by Brown. Thought about a 3. Now gives it over to Tower Amina. Back to Newberry. Newberry looking for somewhere to go. Gives it into the right corner. Over to Gilmore. Gilmore, who's checked in, finds Raul up top. Far wing Tower Amina takes a dribble, throws it back out to the three-point line. Brown thought about a 3. Up top, Tower Amina. He'll launch off the back iron. Too strong. Rebound taken away by, here comes Jones.
And Los Altos has been trying to run in transition, but this one they decided to slow it up.
And Tetz with a crossover move. It looked like that one was all ball from Tower Amina, but a foul is called.
It was close. He did have a lot of ball, but I think he also had a little bit of the arm. I don't dislike that call there by the official. I know it doesn't look pretty to, you know, all the fans in the home crowd, but not a terrible call. But like I mentioned, Los Altos has been trying to run out in transition, which is exactly what we thought they were going to do, but it hasn't been working. I mean, on that last possession, you know, they had 2 bunnies at the rim and just were not able to finish them. But there they got into a set, didn't get a great shot, but were bailed out by the foul, and they finally have their first point of the quarter on the free throw there by Tetz.
So Tetz makes it 17-6. Los Gatos with the lead. 2:23 to play here in the second quarter. Marko Mihalovic has checked back in the game. They look for him down low. Mihalovic working one-on-one, left-handed layup, got it to go over Susko. And they are just taking advantage of the sophomore right now on defense. Yeah,
and his footwork and his feel for the defender has been excellent, especially on that possession right there, as we're going to get a timeout from Los Altos. But you can't say enough about Marko Mihalovic and what he's been doing here tonight for Los Gatos.
Yeah, 11 points on the night. He has been their offense as they lead 19-6, 2:01 to play in the half. Looking for more than 4 decades, no construction company ranks higher in award-winning projects such as school, nonprofit, and high-tech campuses, enhancing and enriching our community. Look no further than Block Construction. For more information, visit www.block.com. And stay tuned for the Central Coast Sports Halftime Show. The halftime spotlight interview, Los Gatos AD Ken Parati, nice enough to let us use his Wi-Fi here for our broadcast. And all coming up on the Central Coast Sports Halftime. Spencer, you'll have that interview, and it should be a good one.
Yeah, no, it should be. I just met him a little bit earlier. He seems like a very nice guy. I heard from on the grapevine, shall we say, that he makes for a good quote, and he's an easy guy to interview. So make sure everyone listening, you stick around for that. But back to the game here, as we got 2 minutes to play in the second quarter. Los Altos offensively has just got to find something or someone. Even I really think they should be going back to Eric Jones. He had some good looks early and just wasn't able to get him to drop, but he's a guy, a senior, who's got the experience, knows how to create his own shot. He's got a good stroke, but Now Los Gatos coming back out in the zone, so Los Altos once again has to make that adjustment offensively.
Here's up top, Shell. Seems like he has played the whole game so far here, along with Jones, who has it straight on. Jones back to Shell, right wing. 3-ball coming from Shell. Front iron miss, rebound, fought for. Tetz comes up for it for Los Altos, fresh 35.
And that's something that can happen when you run a zone defense is you don't always have a specific guy to get a butt on to box out.
Tetz will try a 3. Left wing, in and out. Los Altos cannot buy a bucket right now. And here comes Los Gatos the other way, 19-6. With 1:23 to play, they have the lead. Here's far wing. Joffrey with the layup, air ball taken by Jones, and Jones is going to walk it up with 1:15 to play here in the half. 19-6, Los Gatos on top. Here's Tetz into the lane, up with the left hand, and he gets fouled. But, I mean, I'll tell you something, Neiman Tetz, when he gets the ball, his jab, step, and drive, he is awfully quick.
Yeah, he is, and he's aggressive, too. We've seen him get fouled twice now, and they're almost a third time earlier in the game. He really is being the aggressor for Los Altos, trying to jumpstart this offense, which is, of course, exactly what they need. But I was surprised that Los Gatos went back to the man-to-man there because the zone had really been working, and Los Altos was falling into their trap, which is to just hoist up a bunch of threes. They shot 3 in a row. That's not the only way to beat a zone. They weren't necessarily bad looks, but you don't want to only be shooting threes. You want to attack, collapse the defense, maybe try to overload a side and find a cutter down the lane and catch a man out of position. But I'd also love to see some high-low action because that Los Gatos 2-3 zone is very extended.
2 free throws there for Tetz. He's got all 3 of the points in the quarter here for Los Altos, all on the free throw line. Here's far corner 3 coming from Mihalovic. This is a long 2. He's able to rattle it home, and Marko Mihalovic has got 13 of the 21 here with 40 seconds to play in the second period. 21-8, Los Gatos on top.
And credit head coach Jamon Osby for that play design because it was beautifully run and beautifully designed. Setting a back pick on the backline defender to free up Mihalovic in the far corner is a really nice play.
Here's Jones, left side. 23.8, about an 8-second difference between shot and game clock. Susko going baseline, gets fouled. And Los Altos is living at the free throw line right now, Spencer.
Well, it's better than putting up shots that are not going in. They've scored more in the last couple minutes by getting to the free throw line. First Tetz, and now we see Susko getting there. But, again, if I'm Los Gatos, I'd go back to the zone. It was working. They were struggling against it. They're just sitting there hoisting up threes. And at the high school level, good teams will probably make those at maybe like a 30% clip. But if I'm Los Gatos, I live with that. And they haven't even made a lot of them, but getting them to the free throw line allows them to kind of get rhythm, see the ball, go through the bucket, and feel themselves kind of start to come back or hang around in this game. So even on a miss, I'd like to see Los Gatos try to set up that zone.
So Susko hits 2, and Los Altos gets 5 on the quarter, all from the stripe once again without a field goal. Here's Mihalovic left wing, 21-10, Los Gatos up top, 8 to play here in the second quarter. Raul left side, got to go with 4, gives it to Aristil. Mihalovic 3-ball, left wing, off backboard, put back is not going to count, and that's going to bring us to the end of our first half. 21-10, Los Gatos doesn't allow a field goal, and they increase the lead here in the second quarter as we get ready for our Block Construction Halftime Spotlight, donating countless amounts of money and volunteer hours to provide critical services to charity and people in need. For more information, see their website at block.com. And coming to visit us, Ken Parati. Thank you for joining us here today. We'll get him on the air right away with Spencer.
Talking now with Los Gatos Athletic Director Ken Parati. Ken, thanks for joining us at the halftime show.
Of course.
So last year, of course, your men's basketball program won the CCS tournament at the end of the year, had the player of the year, but now have a new starting 5 and a new head coach. Talk about that adjustment and what that's like as an athletic director, having to deal with that, going from such a level of success to now just a lot of turnover.
Well, you know, we were fortunate enough to have you know, the success that we had last year, and Coach Nick, obviously we miss him greatly, and he you know, he definitely left his mark on this program, taking the school to its first CCS championship in boys basketball. And so, you know, that was a real special thing we all got to witness last year, and we were lucky enough to find Coach Jamon Osby willing to take over the program, and he kind of knew it was a big job coming into it. And just like you said, I mean, we have a whole new starting 5 this year. And I really think his philosophy going into this year is really figuring out what kind of team he has, and it's definitely been an adjustment period to the styles. I think Coach Osby brings a different kind of style than the boys are used to, and I think you really saw it in the preseason, that adjustment kind of happening. I know that they weren't getting the results that they necessarily wanted. But through the new year, things are starting to click, and they're playing better basketball. And we had a tough one against Pali last week, but things are going well so far against Los Altos. And I think the boys they've put in a tremendous amount of work, and they were here almost every day during the break practicing, and trying to get better. And their desire to win and to succeed. Is just as great as last year's team. Obviously this year's team is different, and there's some different pieces. It only took probably, arguably the two greatest basketball players in the history of the school to win a CCS championship.
It never hurts that that level.
But those type of players don't come along, and you look what Dylan Belquist is doing at the University of San Francisco this year. I mean, it's just we were really lucky to have such a tremendous player in him and both and. Alex Bracken as well. So obviously, those two are, pretty sorely missed on the court. But our senior class has stepped up, and there's a lot of enthusiasm, and the boys are having a lot of fun. And the one thing I can say is there's been a good distribution of playing time amongst the boys. I mean, Coach Osby is really focusing on developing these young men, and not just playing the same five the entire game.
Right.
Trying to develop our young players, and really setting us up not only for this year but for the future.
Right.
The future success of the program. And couldn't be happier about that.
Yeah, and you certainly love to see that at the high school level as well. But so after last year, you guys have a tremendous amount of success, and then your head coach, Nick Ward, departs. Can you talk about that process and whether it was something he would mention, and then how the search began, and how you came to find Coach Osby?
Yeah, so Coach Ward, he actually let me know about 6 weeks before the season was over that he was going to be stepping down at the end of the year. Had a second child on the way, and so needed to focus on the family. And you see that over and over again in so many of our high school coaches. That it's not like the old days where you had the same coach kind of running the show. There's Coach Jim Marino here, longtime Los Gatos basketball coach, but those type of guys really don't come along anymore. And it's for the good. They focus on the family and the things that are important. And so with Coach Ward leaving, we knew we had some big shoes to fill, and we had a really, really deep pool of applicants. What we liked about Coach Osby was his enthusiasm. He's a teacher first, and it really shined in the interview process. Just how you could tell how he was going to be able to really motivate a young team. And so he's a teacher first. He's a motivator. He does a really good job at getting through to these kids, and at the end of the day, and we had a whole hiring committee. He was pretty much the consensus pick for our next coach. So,
well, it's good that you're able to find a coach that everyone was so all in on it. It seems like the players do too, if they're all in practicing every day over break. But you, as athletic director, of course, don't oversee just men's basketball, but all the sports here at Los Gatos High School. The girls' basketball team is doing well. Your girls' soccer team is ranked number 11 in the state. Talk about some of those other winter sports teams that are having success.
Yeah, well,
right
we
now.
have a new coach this year for the girls' side as well, Sarah Quilici. We were really lucky enough to get her. She's done an amazing job with a fairly young basketball team. They had a tough one against Pali last Friday night, but they had a really, really successful preseason. And they're going to be heading for the CCS playoffs. They'll be back in the playoffs this year, and based off of their preseason record. And on the girls' side of it, it's really, really close. All the teams are kind of right there together. So, the league championship is really up for grabs, and we're really looking forward to what the girls are going to do there. And then with soccer, we have two new coaches for boys and girls soccer. Our boys team today just tied Palo Alto 0-0. Our girls beat Palo Alto today 6-2. That's something, I've been, before I was here at Los Gatos, I was actually at Palo Alto, and I can say it's been a number of years since Los Gatos has scored that many goals against Palo Alto. So obviously the girls are really excited today, and they're leading the pack right now. They're in first place. They have a huge match this Wednesday against Mountain View. And so, that right there will be kind of the first of really looking to be the kind of the 2 contenders for the league title this year, and most likely that open division playoff berth. And then our fifth sport, wrestling. Our boys wrestling team continues to improve. Right now, they're the 5th ranked team in CCS, and so they're looking to have a lot of success going into league play. They have probably their biggest duel of the year this week as well against Fremont here this Thursday. And Coach Greg Varela has done a wonderful job with our young wrestlers, and with only 2 seniors on the team this year, there's a lot of young talent there, and so a lot of new faces with our winter coaches, but there's a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of excitement around our winter teams, and then don't look now, but we got spring sports starting at the end of this month, and so
comes up quick.
Yeah, we're going to be kicking that off, and once again, many spring programs, a lot of success. Baseball is looking really good early here in the season, just on paper, and our boys and girls lacrosse programs continue to be stellar. Coach John Rembaugh on our track program, this will be his 2nd year in the program now, and looking to do some big things with the track program. Of course, what can I say about our boys and girls tennis coach, Byron Nepomuceno. With the girls this past fall, back-to-back CCS and NorCal champions. That's pretty impressive. It's a nice little run on our girls tennis program. And boys volleyball had a real young team last year, and they're looking to they pretty much have most of their starters returning this year and looking to do some big things. And so, there's a lot in softball, of course. How could I forget softball? Softball won their first league championship last year since 1993.
Wow.
And a lot of those girls coming back. And so there's a nice little bubble here of a lot of talented teams and coming through here. And, there's a lot of kids having fun and playing sports. And that's really what high school sports is about, right, is having
Absolutely.
a good time, playing the sport that you love. For the most of our athletes, this will be the only chance that they get to play. They don't all get to be Dylan Belquist and go and play Division I basketball somewhere.
Right.
So, it's a real special thing we got going on here, and I'm extremely thankful that I get to be a part of it. So.
Well, you want your athletic director to know every single sport. Ken Parati has got you covered. Ken, thanks for coming on the program.
All right.
Los Gatos athletic director.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
your time.
All right.
Well, that was AD Ken Parati. Spencer? Good.
He knows his stuff. Man, he rattled off every team that he oversees, their record, what they did last year, how they're looking for this year. I mean, he knows them all. This is a guy who is on top of his stuff, knows what his job is, does it very well, clearly loves to do it. I mean, you can tell that, he's passionate about this stuff, and that's exactly what you want from any athletics director. But that was a good interview right there.
Yeah, Coach Ken Parati with the Nike ID Roshis, let's say LGHS, I noticed on the back. So he is living and breathing Los Gatos sports as we get ready for the 3rd period here, 21-10. What adjustments very quickly Los Altos need to make to get back into this game?
They've got to get something going to the basket offensively with some kind of regularity. They had a little success. They made some free throws there at the end, which is part of what happens when you get an offense that goes to the basket, but they've too often settled for the three-point shot and been willing to take it. So they're going to have to make that change, I think, if they're going to have any type of consistent offense. And most simply, guys just have to make shots because they haven't been able to, but they've gotten some decent looks, and you got to convert down low, and you got to be solid in your execution on offense.
So Los Gatos will start with the ball. Terramora finds Joffrey on the left wing. Joffrey holds it above his head, gives it up top to Brown. Brown with the left hand, back to Newberry, who's going to hand off to Taormina left wing. 18 to shoot here for Los Gatos, up 21-10 here in the start of the second half. Here's Brown, straight on. Brown with the left hand, dribbling in the lane, finds Joffrey. Joffrey, 3-ball, rolls it home. John Joffrey with his first bucket, and it's 24-10. Los Gatos increases the lead.
Jamon Osby wanted him to set up the press there, but they didn't get to it in time. The players have got to be more focused than that and attentive on a made basket that he wants them to set up that press.
Taking it out of bounds will be Jones. Jones into the right corner, Shell. Shell's going to make a back up top to Jones. 7:20 to play here in the third. Los Gatos up 24-10. Here's a jumper by Tetz, left wing, rolls around the rim. Thought about going in, but bounced out. And here comes Mihalovic the other way.
They weren't able to get those bounces in the first half either. You thought with a new rim, maybe they'd be able to get him, but still just not able to get the shooter's touch.
Mihalovic going down low. to Brown, back up top, Mihalovic. Mihalovic with the left hand. Jamon Osby wants him to swing the ball as they give it into the corner. Terramia, down low, Mihalovic. Mihalovic, reverse layup, high off the glass, and got it to go.
And once again, beautiful footwork there from Marko Mihalovic to feel the defender and spin baseline. But what a tough finish with a little bit of English spinning that ball off the glass. I love it.
26-10, 6:30 to play here in the third. Los Gatos has not skipped a beat. They once again start a quarter out on a 5-0 run. Here's a drive by Tetz going to the rim. Could not draw iron. And here comes Los Gatos. Push pass going and intercepted by Jones. Terramia tries to throw a full court pass, and immediately Jamon Osby does not like that decision.
No, it wasn't a good decision, but it was a good read by Eric Jones at the other end, playing almost like a free safety in football, just reading the eyes of the passer of the ball, and then once he saw the ball go in the air, he makes a break for it. It's really nice for him.
So here comes Jones the other way. Los Altos down by 16, trying to make a run here with 6 to play in this third quarter. Here's Susek. Susek thought about something. Now we're going to go far corner over to Benavidez, and his three is off the mark, but rebound out to Jones, going right back to Benavidez, down low, blocked away, and it goes out of bounds, and Los Altos just cannot get a good look on the offensive end.
No, they can't, but Benavidez is getting that ball down low. The double team is clearly there, and it swatted it out of bounds on that example once again, but he's not passing out of that double team, and he needs to.
Here's Tetz up top, who's been aggressive every time he catches the ball. Shell. Back Jones. Jones deep three, left wing air ball. And Los Altos has the shooting woes continue here with 5:45 to play in this third.
And I know Eric Jones has got a lot of confidence in his jump shot, and he should, but that is a tough, deep three-pointer curling off right there as Los Altos now in kind of a 3-2 zone look, trying to change it up at the defensive end.
Here's Tower Amina, 3 right wing, back iron miss, and a rebound taken away by Shell. He's going to push. Shell going to Jones, left side. Jones got it. He's going to jab left, now go left, follow a jumper from 5, and that one drops home. And that is the first field goal in almost 10 minutes here for Los Altos, going back to the first quarter.
And it feels like even a little bit longer than that, but on that previous possession, Braden Taormina had the ball open on the right wing. And yeah, it was an open 3, but he also had a lane to drive. You don't have to shoot against the zone. You can attack.
Here's Tower Amina, right wing. He's going to take your advice and drive. Shoots from 5. Could not get it to drop. Rebound, though, taken away by Brown. Brown's going to go up and get fouled.
And that's part of what happens is Tower Amina apparently hurt me psychopathically and went into the lane. You know, he just did a little hop step. After he went baseline, collapsed the defense, he got a good look. But when you collapse that defense, you can get zone players out of position as it pertains to rebounding. And right there, Brown able to take advantage, get the offensive rebound, and now at the free throw line.
As coming into the game will be Aristil for Tower Amina. With a coast-to-coast footprint of over 300 U.S.-based production sites, you can see why Vulcan Materials is an essential part of our community makeover, including road and bridge repair, construction of office buildings, schools, hospitals, and more. Giving back to our community and shaping our future, vulcanmaterials.com. So both free throws, one free throw was made by Brown, correction. And Newberry picks up his third foul. And immediately coming to the score table is Quinn Olasek. So Newberry will take a seat here with 4:48 to play in the third as Los Altos was trying to break the press. 27-12, Los Gatos on top. Los Altos coming the other way, trying to trim the 15-point lead here. Jones has it up top, yet to take a seat in this game. Takes it drifts towards the right side as Los Altos gets the play going. They bounce it down low here into Susko. Susko's layup is off the rim and out. Rebound fought for, though, and Shell's able to grab it. Here's Tetz, far wing, jabs with the right. Now dribbles left, gives it into the corner. Shell drives down the baseline, up with the right hand, blocked by Aristel. Good block. Mihalovic tries to force it ahead, tipped away, and Los Gatos is going to come up with it. Joffrey left wing as we approach halfway through this third quarter. And Aristil's left wide open, nothing going. They go down low here to Oslek into the corner. Brown, 3 ball, nothing there. And rebound taken away by Benavidez. Here comes Los Altos.
And before that three-pointer even went up, Jamon Osby wanted his point guard to get back on defense.
Here's a 3 from the left wing by Tetz. Too strong, but rebound taken away by Susek. Up top, 3 ball for Jones. Front iron miss. And it has been, as Jones is going to steal it from Mihalovic in the backcourt. Jones has it now, looking for somebody to pass to. Gives it to Shell. Shell's going to fire immediately, and Shell can't knock one down. Another offensive rebound here for Los Altos.
And the offensive rebounds are the only reason that they're still even kind of around in this game. It's been offensive rebounds and hustle plays for Los Altos, but not able to get it going offensively. I didn't like that last shot by Shell. It was a smart turnover by Jones to kind of pick the pocket of the Los Gatos big man, but it was an unnecessary quick shot. Now they're working around much better.
Susko, left side, drives, gets fouled. And I think that's the strategy you got to go for if you're Coach Nas. The way they have been able to score is at the free throw line. So attack the rim, get some of these Los Gatos scores in foul trouble, and then maybe start to make that run.
Yeah, it has. But something that Los Gatos has done really well is they've been blocking a lot of shots. They've got at least 5 by my count as a team tonight. We don't have live stats working for us, but it's been at least 5, and Los Gatos has done a really good job. As now I think we got something on the court, maybe some blood or just sweat. But Los Gatos at the defensive end is doing everything right up until they have to get the ball and go the other way. They're playing solid defense. Los Altos is not getting any wide open shots, and when they do get into the lane, which I agree with you is their best offensive strategy so far, there have been a lot of blocks. Their help side rotations have been very, very solid, and they have been able to block shots without fouling. But then once they get the ball, we've seen a full court pass get intercepted. We've seen the ball get taken away from behind, or better yet for Los Altos, just a straight offensive rebound, so you don't even have to make a defensive play. So Los Gatos really is preventing themselves from putting the early nail in this coffin. I mean, 15 points does feel like an eternity when Los Altos only has 12, but teams can go on a run at any time. It just takes one adjustment or one run to get back into the game and plant the seeds of doubt in the Los Gatos players' minds. So they've got to be solid, and once they make the defensive plays so they can get back to the offensive end.
As we get out of the timeout here, 3:08 to play here in the third. Let's see if Los Altos, the least they have scored this season was 27 or the least they scored is 33, correction, in a loss versus Altos back on December 26th. Right now, only with 12, a single bucket in the last 2 quarters combined. As Susko is going to go to the line to try to cut into the 15-point lead. 27-12, Los Gatos on top.
And that's been their only real consistent source of offense. Okay, I'm pretty sure they've got only 2 field goals in this game, and we're past the halfway point in the third quarter. So if that's what's working, then that's what's working. So they've got to keep attacking. Now they come out with full court pressure. Looks like 1-2-1-1.
So Susko hits both, 24-13, 3 minutes to go here in the third. Aristil bounces it, nice pass over to Rao. He gives it into Olasek, and they break the press here. Does Los Gatos. Aristil drive, handoff, Olasek, right-hand layup. Beautiful pass there by Aristil.
Yeah, it was, and it was a nice press break. Just before it, Eric Jones did not rotate on the backside into the middle of the press, but a good find and a good placement by Rao to put himself right in the middle where you want to be, and then a great pass by Aristik at the other end.
Left wing Jones, he's going to give it to Lungsford. Lungsford goes up, and another block. As here comes Rao the other way. Los Gatos up by 15, looking to add more. 2:30 to play here in the third.
And Trevor Nass wanted a foul. So did the rest of the Los Altos bench. Sounded like they might have had a case. I thought we heard the slap from over here.
So here's Rao up top. 20 seconds to play to shoot here for Los Gatos as White has it up top. Back to Tower Amina. He's going to try from distance, way short. Rebound taken away by Lungsford. Los Altos wants to push. They want to push every time they get a rebound. Shell back up top, Jones. Jones giving it right side over to Tetz. Tetz jabs right, goes left, signature move. Lost it, though, off the handle. And here comes Raul, one-on-one the other way with Susko. Raul in and out dribble to the left hand. Too strong off the layup, but nice rebound by Olasek for Los Gatos. Los Gatos will reset. Aristil travels on the catch on the left wing, and it's a turnover going the other way will Los Altos. But this gives a chance now for Los Gatos to set up in the press.
Yeah, it does, and they're going to come out 2-2-1, and so far Los Altos hasn't struggled with it too much, but it has gotten them in a little bit of a hurry because they're trying to beat it any way they can, but also it takes time off the shot clock, so they have to realize that they don't have an eternity to get into their offensive set.
So here's a jumper from the free throw line by Jones, rattles in and out, and 29-14, Los Gatos has the lead, bringing it the other way.
And I liked that shot right there from Eric Jones. It was a really nice press break. They had good, solid passes. He settled himself right in the middle of that zone press, which is exactly where you want to be, and just felt that the defense wasn't on him and turned and fired with confidence.
Raul 3 ball, left wing, front iron. Rebound taken by Jones, who's averaging 5 a game. And a foul is going to be called underneath on Olasek. And so that's going to be foul, the 4th team foul here for Los Gatos, as Raul will take a seat and Joffrey will come back in the game.
And Eric Jones is 5'9", but nobody told him. He snatched that rebound right away from the much taller Quinn Olasek. And, you know, a great rebounder for his size and really a solid all-around player. He's going to be key for Los Altos down the stretch if they're going to come back in this game.
Just under a minute to play. Los Altos looking to cut the 15-point lead. Here's a layup by Lungsford with the left hand. Nate White grabs the rebound. Good defense by the smaller guard. And here comes Los Gatos the other way.
And that's the type of shot that I've been talking about all night long. It's a good look. It's a little bit contested, but it's a bunny. It's a makeable shot, and they just have not been able to get him to drop.
3-2 high zone here for Los Altos. Aristel catches it near corner. He's going to swing it far corner to White. White's going to drive. Finds Terramino. Short block far block extended, and he loses it out of bounds to Los Gatos with 8 to shoot, 22.8 to play here in the third.
And you touched on it a little bit. This 3-2 zone that Los Altos is running is very extended. So what that opens up is the baseline behind. Typically when you run a high-low action, you have one big on the baseline and one sitting at the free throw line. You try to get the ball to the guy at the free throw line, attack, draw the defense, and then hand off to the guy on the baseline. I think that's what Los Gatos has got to look for right here.
5 to shoot for Taro Mina. He's going to have to chuck one up from the far corner. Hits iron, but only barely. And here comes Los Altos the other way. 2-on-2. Here's Susko. Susko to the rim. Now tilts it out to Shell. Shell a far corner 3, and he knocks it down. The second 3 of the night for Shell, as here comes Los Gatos the other way. They're going to throw one up. It's not going to be off in time, and that is the end of quarter number 3. 29 to 17. Los Gatos increases the lead to 12, as we will be entering our 10th year with the most live high school sports coverage in the area. Central Coast Sports Broadcasting. Big shout out to our broadcasters and sponsors who continue to give back to our communities with the best in high school sports. For the latest updates and scheduling, check out our website at Central Coast Sports Live and follow us at Facebook at Central Coast Sports Broadcasting. So Shell able to grab that 3 as the quarter expires, cutting the lead down to 12. That might be a big shot down the road. As you trim it from 12 to 15, you get a couple buckets to start off this fourth quarter, and next thing you know, it's a 2-possession ball game.
Yeah, it is, and we saw him start to find a little bit of rhythm kind of in that press break almost. You know, we've seen him be effective, not turning the ball over, not being panicked like we've talked about, which has been important and is going to continue to be important for Los Altos to come back, but they've been finding little openings there against that zone pressure, and so I wonder if Los Gatos will stay with it. I think they probably will, because as the game winds down, you know, tensions rise and guys play with just that much more stress, that much more, you know, a little bit of anxiety or anxiousness. So I think that I think Los Gatos will keep the press on, but Los Altos has just got to convert opportunities. I mean, too many times tonight they've gotten to the rim, and I think their shots are just a little bit flat, and that's why they're not getting those bounces off the rim. The ball's kind of bouncing across the rim and off rather than, you know, going up high, down soft, and in. So maybe the legs are a little bit tired, or maybe they're just not feeling it tonight. But they're going to have to start making those kind of shots and capitalizing on every opportunity they can get if they want to overcome this 12-point deficit here in the fourth quarter.
So 8 more minutes. Los Gatos has to hold this lead to get their first league win of the season. Los Altos looking for revenge after last year's CCS semifinal exit, thanks to the Los Gatos Wildcats. As we get set here, Los Altos sets up an inbounds play. Nobody's guarding him, but here comes Susko on the right wing. He's going to get a screen, now has it. Far side, up top, over to Shell, back to Susko. Susko will drift up top. Taro Maro's going to pick him up, heels on the logo. Here's Tetz, back up top, over to Susko. 16 to shoot here for Los Altos. Dribbles Tetz now. He's going to drive against the zone. Up, floater from 8. Back iron miss. Rebound fought for. Jafari comes up for it. And here comes John Jafari the other way for Los Gatos. So looking to push. Left side, Brown. Thought about a 3. Goes down low to Newberry. Newberry Bounce passes to Taromina. Nice pass down low to Brown once again. He's doubled. Kick out over to Mihalovic. Mihalovic with the left hand, and the scoop layup drops home. Marko Mihalovic has 17 on the night.
Yeah, and he's been great, showing us a little bit of everything once again. Smooth left-handed layup right there, but Los Altos at the offensive end facing a 2-3 zone on the last possession and just looked utterly confused. They were in a high-low set, but the big men never came to their high-low spots, and they weren't overloading a side. That's the last way that you want to try to beat a 2-3 zone.
Here's down low Shell. Confusion for Los Gatos, and the easiest two of the night for Chris Shell. He's got 7, and it's 31-19. Los Gatos with a 12-point lead, 6:43 to play here in the fourth.
But those are the types of plays that can happen when you get the ball inside against the zone. These guys miscommunicate or they fall down or whatever, and then once you have that opening in the zone, it's easy to exploit. So Los Altos has to stay aggressive and not settle for threes like we saw them do in the third quarter quite a bit.
Here's Taormina up top. Gives it over to Joffrey. Down low they go. Turnaround jumper for Mihalovic. Air ball, but a putback by Taormina. Nice job by the junior going down low for the offensive rebound. Earns himself a deuce, and it's 33-19. Los Gatos up by 14 with 6:09.
And I think Shell actually got a hand on that ball is why it came up short, but a great rebound by Brown to recognize that it was going to come up short, or by Newberry, excuse me. It was great recognition to get it a tough reverse layup on the finish, but Los Altos right now, once you get a stop on a block shot like that, you just cannot allow offensive rebounds. There's not enough possessions left in this game for those kind of silly mistakes.
Here's a jumper by Tetz, and it's a long two, but he'll get it to go. Neiman Tetz is always aggressive. That is point number 8 for him, and it's 33-21, 12-point lead for Los Gatos with the ball.
Just a great jab step and a wonderful pull-up there by Neiman Tetz. It's a tough shot to defend because, like you mentioned earlier, his first step is just so quick.
Here's Raul, left wing, dribbling with the left hand. Gives it over to Taromina. Almost lost it, but Newberry comes up with it. 10 to shoot here for Los Gatos, trying to increase the 12-point lead and get their first league win. Here's Raul driving in the lane, lost it on the deck, taken away by Jones. Jones in transition, one-on-one with Brown. Left side up with the left hand, layup drops home. Nice attack by Eric Jones. He's got 4, and it is a 10-point game here with 5:10 to play in the fourth.
It might have been that easy bucket that's really gotten them going. They've made 3 straight field goals now, and they've been the same kind of looks we've seen them get all game, but just haven't been dropping, and now all of a sudden they are. Sometimes it only takes one, and the hustle at the defensive end has been great for them as well.
As Newberry almost lost it out of bounds. You mentioned that hustle. But it will stay Los Gatos basketball.
But you are correct. It's going to stay Los Gatos basketball here. But Los Altos right now, they look like the more energized squad. I mean, they're down to a 10-point game. They felt like they've been out of it. They doubled their point total this quarter, so they're feeling good. They're rolling, and you can see it with the intensity and the energy that they've got at the defensive end.
They've scored 6 points this quarter. The most they've scored in a single quarter so far was 7 in the third. So on track to have their highest scoring quarter of the game right here, and they're going to need 10 more to try to tie this up, at least, and most likely a lot more. Here's Brown up top. Brown with the left hand. Now finds Ira Still, who's checked into the game right side. Ira Still's working against Tetz, ripped through, taking it baseline, jumps in the air, and finds Mihalovic up top. Mihalovic with the left hand, 5 to shoot, driving, tough shot, and 1. Marko Mihalovic with a drifting to his left, switches to the right, gets a slap on the wrist, and banks it off the glass. And what a play.
What a play indeed, and the foul. I mean, you talk about a bailout possession there by Marko Mihalovic. It was just good defense by Los Altos for about 28 seconds, and then better offense for about 2 as he converts the 3-point play. There's not a lot you can do there if you're Los Altos.
He's got 20 points on the night, 36-23. Los Gatos up on top of Los Altos here with 4:33 to play. Jones breaks the press, gives it over to Shell, far side Susko. Up top, back to Shell. Now Jones has it into the right corner, 19 to shoot, and a timeout for Los Altos. Published quarterly for 30 years, don't miss the combination of business and lifestyle articles that affect the agricultural industry. Pick up a copy of Coastal Grower Magazine today or subscribe via coastalgrowermag.com. You need a snack or quick healthy protein fix, all natural, 9 grams of Power Pack protein, the Green Waffle. For a complete list of locations, more info on this dynamic product, go to their website at thegreenwaffle.com. Eat clean, go green. And one more here for you, authentic quality dishes with local ingredients, a quality seasoned crust and prepared fresh daily Pomodoro pizza in the Almaden Valley, a great place for great food on game night or any day of the week. 6932 Almaden Expressway, San Jose, or click the website PomodoroPizzaAlmaden.com to place your order.
You ever seen a green waffle?
I mean, I have not, so it sounds like I have to go to Green Waffle.
It's like saying healthy hamburger, you know? It's like I feel like you have the healthy foods and the unhealthy foods, because if you're trying to fake people out, I don't know if that's...
It's got 9 grams of protein, man.
Yeah, but if I want a waffle, I mean, I want my protein to come from, you know, the fried chicken I'm putting on top.
Here's a drive here by Tetz. Right-hand layup, too strong. Rebound fought for, and Newberry with a great effort comes up with that one.
That is a rebound right there. When you talk about guys who fight for extra, you know, fight on extra hustle plays for rebounds, that was it right there. He snatched that from 2 Los Altos defenders, and the foul was able to get on that rip through. That's a tremendous, tremendous rebound there by Noah Newberry.
1-2-1-1 press here for Los Altos. 4:14 to play in the fourth, 36-23. Los Gatos on top. It has been a high-scoring fourth quarter, if that makes a lot of sense in a game that's been awfully low-scoring, as a block is called.
36-23 is a high-scoring fourth quarter, and it has been.
I mean, it has.
Like it feels like there have been more buckets in this quarter than there have been even the rest of the game. And yeah, the head coach for Los Altos here, Trevor Nass, pointing out that the clock was running. It ran for about 13 seconds, so they're going to have to correct that error here.
So 9 points so far for Los Gatos in the quarter. That's their second most in a quarter. And Los Altos with 6, their second most in a quarter. And we still got 4:10 to play. So here is Raul. He's going to go up the near sideline, give it over to Brown. Brown, a nice crossover, has room, finds Newberry. And Newberry's going to get up top to Raul. Raul will reset with just under halfway through this fourth quarter. Jones playing up against Malovich in his grill, and a foul is going to be called. Malovich, just kind of a step-back jumper to finish it off, but a pretty shot nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't count, but it counts for his confidence, I can tell you that. I mean, it wasn't an easy shot, even though no one was guarding him. So Malovich clearly feeling it tonight, but Jones is not giving up. You know, under 4 minutes to play, 13-point game. He is out there trying to get every steal and every extra possession he can for his team.
And he has played every minute of this game. Zara still's got it left wing. 13-point lead here for Los Gatos, trying to put the nail in the coffin in against Los Altos in this fourth quarter. Here's Aristill. He'll try a 3 straight on. Hits the backboard first. Rebound is a long one, and Mohalovic comes up with it. Nice. Another great effort play by Newberry.
Yeah, and Mohalovic there and Newberry on the previous possession caught the ball in the corner open, but smartly pulled it back out to use clock. There's no reason to rush and take any kind of shot early in the shot clock. It's a smart play from both of the bigs for Los Gatos.
Los Gatos playing to try to get their first league win of the year, as Jamon Osby will call time. On your ride home, tune in to the Central Coast Sports postgame show. We got stats, insights, interviews with Coach Osby, and more. Make sure that you listen to the Central Coast Sports player of the game, all part of the Central Coast Sports postgame show. Keep us here on your ride home. Well, 3:14 to play here. Los Altos, what do they need to do to try to come back and tie this and force overtime, or possibly grab a lead?
Well, they have to take advantage of every single possession, but they also have to create extra ones, which we saw with the aggressive defense right here that forced a timeout, which I liked, from Jamon Osby on the Los Gatos guards. But we've seen Los Altos picking up in that full court, you know, kind of 2-2-1 or 1-2-2 full court pressure, and so they're going to need to force some turnovers, but when they get the ball, they have to value each possession. You can't afford any bad shots in these types of situations, trailing by 13 and 3:14 to play. And if you're Los Gatos, just be solid. You've got to be solid on offense. Protect the ball. Don't try to make a hero play. Just be solid and make smart, sound passes.
Raul's going to give it left wing over to Brown. Now they give it up top to Newberry. 10 to shoot here for Los Gatos. Raul thought about a 3. Now he's going to go ahead and drive. Pump fakes. Nice pump fake. Follow away jumper off glass. Got it to go. The pump fake got him open, and Raj Raul gets his first bucket of the night. It is 38-23, Los Gatos by 15, matching their largest lead so far.
And you see him still come out, Los Gatos that is, in a full kind of token pressure.
As Ted's step-back jumper gophers out, and Los Gatos will bring it the other way. Couple more buckets, and they're able to secure this one. Up top, here is Mihalovic with the right hand working against Shell. Shell also one of the players who has played all night here for Los Altos. Up top, Raul's got it, and an offensive foul on Noah Newberry. I think that is number 4 for Noah, unofficially.
And the official just calmly explaining to Noah Newberry right there that he had his elbows out and flared on that screen. Officials don't like for that, but Jamon Osby is debating the call right now and trying to make his case because Newberry didn't move. There was no movement on the screen, but I think the official just didn't like the elbows out, and if he sees just a little bit of thrust, he's going to make that call. But, you know, a tough one there for Los Gatos, but an extra possession, much needed for Los Altos.
So Los Altos was going to have to do it from the three-point line at this point. They put in Siri for the first time tonight. Here is an attack by, looks like Susko, and Suso is going to get the and one.
Yeah, and a great take there by Susko, but exactly one of the things you cannot do when you're trying to protect a big lead is foul and give Los Altos a chance to get a free point at the line and to set up the press.
Susko knocks down the free throw. So he completes the three-point play the old-fashioned way, and it's 38-26 with 2:09. Here's a steal. Susko up with the left hand and almost got another and one. Instead, he's going to walk the line for 2 more.
And Los Gatos tonight, for the most part, has done a good job of not panicking. But now, like I said, in this late-game situation, we see a little bit more right there. You know, it was a little bit antsy. The pass came in and then immediately went right back to the inbounder. But it was a good read by Los Altos on that side. I think it was Susko who made the steal and kind of got his hand on the ball and poked it free, and he gets to the free throw line once again for more chances for points scored without time coming off the clock. And now with that make, they can set up their press once again. That's big.
38-27, 2:06 to play. Here, Los Gatos up top, and almost another steal as Eric Jones tried to go right through the referee.
Whatever is needed, man.
And the effort play from Jones, got to give it to him. But you can't go through another person. Here's Brown. He'll catch it at about the three-point line of Los Gatos and dribble it across the timeline. Los Altos has got to play up and try to force turnovers if they're going to make a late-game comeback down 10. Here's Mihalovic dribbling with the left hand, trying to go down the left alley, gives it over to Joffrey. Joffrey working against Jones. Joffrey, left-handed dribble near side. Now he's going to roll into the paint, gives it up top. Aristotle is going to fire one from 15 and got it. With 1:37 to play here in the fourth, 40-28. Los Gatos with another bucket as they increase the lead.
And big shot there from the senior Aristotle to get that lead back up above 10. Now that makes the mountain much taller to climb. Now a turnover.
Here's a turnover by Joffrey, was able to force it. And Los Gatos will try to eat the whole 35 as they turn it over, but saved by Mihalovic. And Mihalovic is going to pick up a foul as he goes to the rim, or a blocking foul on Los Altos. Mihalovic able to draw it. But number 4 has been everywhere so far tonight and saved Los Gatos a possession right there.
Yeah, he is. I mean, Corey Brown owes him a steak dinner, quite frankly, because he got lazy with the pass that got deflected, but Mihalovic saw the deflection, immediately charged for the ball, was able to control it enough and draw the blocking foul. That was going to be exactly the extra possession that Los Altos was going to need. And here for, I think, just the second time tonight, Eric Jones checking out of the game. I think head coach Trevor Nass trying to get some fresh legs in there.
Mihalovic with 20 points on the night, misses the first free throw. Half of Los Gatos points, give him over half with that one, 41-28. As checked into the game is Chris Lewis. He'll give it over far side over to Connor Altinger, who just checked in. So it looks like Coach Nas waving the white flag a little bit here with these subs. Lewis, right wing over to Machatsky. As they give it straight on to Lewis. Lewis thought about a jumper. Now he's going to fire from 3, and how about that one? Chris Lewis from the right wing, and it's 41-31. As Los Gatos brings it the other way with 45 seconds to play.
Yeah, and Los Gatos really just kind of needs to hold on to the ball, not turn it over. But Los Altos has got to get up right now. They're sitting off, playing way too soft defense.
As a turnover there, Cook with the steal, and he is fouled immediately by Newberry, and I believe that is Newberry's 5th.
And that it is, and it's going to put Los Altos on the line. So 34 seconds here, 10-point game. It's not impossible. I don't want to say it's I don't want to say it's likely or impossible, but it's not out of the realm of possibility. I'm surprised that Eric Jones is not in the game for Trevor Nass right now.
Cook couldn't hit the 1-and-1 as here comes Olszewski on the rebound. He'll give it over to Joffrey, and they just have to dribble it out now for Los Gatos. Joffrey being washed by Lewis, now gets a screen from Mihalovic, crosses over, up top to Aristil with the right-hand dribble, working, and Coach Jamon Osby smartly watching the far referee count for the 5 seconds and calls timeout with 12.4. Is the last timeout of the game.
Yeah, and the game pretty much is locked up right now, but I like that it's not over till it's over mentality there from Jamon Osby taking that timeout, because as you noted, the 5-second count was coming. No one was really showing to the ball, but I think that assuming they're able to hold on, this is a good first league win for Los Gatos. I mean, Los Altos definitely came in as the favorite. With a 10-5 record compared to 6-8 for Los Gatos, both had lost 2 straight coming in. I think this is going to be a really solid victory, and I think it was really because of their defense. Like, they've gotten it done at the defensive end. They've had a number of block shots. It's at least 8 by now as a team. Their defensive rebounding could get solidified a little bit more, but overall, really solid win.
Yeah, Los Gatos will grab their first league win. They'll go on to play Gunn on the 16th. Gunn, who plays Cupertino tonight, is also 0-2 in league so far. And then for Los Altos, unfortunately, does not get any easier. They will go face the #1 team in the conference in Mountain View in 2 days on Wednesday. So, both teams will face far different opponents, but Los Gatos will get a good first win tonight. Hopefully they can start a winning streak from that. Here is an inbound to Brown, back to Mihalovic. Mihalovic is going to be doubled. Goes over to Brown straight on. Brown will hold the ball up top. And that is going to be the end of this one. Final score from Los Gatos. The Wildcats with the win, 41-31, as we will get ready for the Central Coast Game Sports pregame show. Central Coast Sports here providing on YouTube for our broadcast. We'll give a special thanks to all our sponsors. A quick thought, Spencer, from you. What does this win mean for Los Gatos in terms of going forward, able to get their first league win under Jamon Osby?
Well, I think it's big because, they came in not expected to win this game, but really controlled it throughout. It was that kind of statement win that I talked about in the pregame, and they really did control it from the get-go. I mean, the first quarter was kind of close, but very quickly, Jamon Osby and his team were able to pull away, doing a lot of it at the defensive end. Los Altos was really never able to get any kind of offensive rhythm. Even when they got inside, shots were often contested. They were blocked a lot. And I think that another thing that Coach Osby talked about was his transition defense. And I think they did an exceptional job tonight of getting back and not allowing Los Altos to get a lot of easy transition buckets, forcing them into their half-court sets where they just weren't able to find any kind of rhythm tonight, and that's why they're on top when the score says or when the clock strikes 0.
So 41-31, our final score here from Los Gatos. We'll wait to see if Jamon Osby comes out for the interview as he went back into the tunnel with his team. So we'll get through our sponsors here. Netafim Drip Irrigation, special thanks to Mark, Mary, Clifton, and their children, Matt and Megan. Gonzalez Irrigation Systems, Jeffrey Onda, 8 years and running with Central Coast Sports, SCU alum, and amazing family. Spencer, an SCU
Shout out to the Broncos.
student.
Shout out to the Broncos.
Coastal Grower Mag, thank you to Lori and Tom Kostner and their family for their support with Central Coast Sports. Block Construction, big shout out to Mike Block and Katie Blocker. Community is a better place because of Block. BSN Sports, John Gillette and his team at BSN, much appreciated. Pomodoro Pizza, perfect for catering. Spencer approves private events and other special occasions. For the best pizza, pies, and other mouthwatering dishes, stop by at 6932 Al Maden Expressway, San Jose, asking for Sahan. Vulcan Materials, special thanks to Dave Jordan and everyone at Vulcan Materials for their work in this community, shaping our schools and future leaders. Kevin Moore, shout out to Kevin Moore, appreciate the vision and support with our work here at Central Coast Sports Broadcasting and helping us pay it forward in years to come. Arnie von Massenhausen, Home Services Lending, great friend to the Central Coast Sports Broadcasting crew and looking forward towards the future in supporting high school sports. And finally, but not least, your favorite, the Green Waffle. Our sponsor, eat healthy, all natural, packed with protein. The Green Waffle. For more information, visit and locations for this terrific product, visit thegreenwaffle.com. Once again, big shout out to Los Gatos High School for their hospitality and Los Altos High School and the SCVAL for their support. And a shout out to 95.3 KRTY, San Jose's Hot Country. Not only the best in today's country music, but offering the best in high school sports and the South Bay home of the Golden State Warriors. Thanks to Nate Deaton, Nicole Woodson, Jamie, Paul. For more information, go to their website at krty.com. Well, hopefully soon joining us for the Coach's Wrap will be Jamon Osby. We'll give him a couple more minutes before we wrap up here. So, Spencer, you're not allowed to hold. You forced Los Gatos without a field goal for 10 minutes, spanning that second quarter and into that third quarter. What kind of confidence does that do for your team in the way how you play defensively going forward for this Los Gatos team?
I mean, it's got to give you just a tremendous amount of energy and intensity the next time you come out on the floor. You know, I mean, Los Gatos, like you said, held Los Altos without a field goal for about 2 quarters of game action. I mean, that is not a small feat no matter who you're playing, and I think it's just a testament to the schemes they set up, but their execution of the defensive end as well, but also their changing schemes. We saw head coach Jamon Osby rotate from a 2-3 zone to a 3-2 a couple times. He ran man-to-man. There was full court pressure. It was a lot of changing looks, and remember, these are high school kids. These are young kids. It's hard to adapt to those types of things on the fly. So I love that kind of strategy of varying the looks that you throw defensively. I think they executed well. Their help side defense was really outstanding. They had a lot of blocks tonight, and most of them didn't come from the primary defender. Some of them did, but most of them came from weak side blocks that were well timed with the rotations and then well executed to block without fouling, except for one down in the second half. That was probably a foul, but other than that, you know, they did a great job playing individual defense as well, not having too many fouls, and really just a solid defensive effort as a team. Something Jamon Osby in his first year of head coaching, this is the type of win you want to look for. This is the type of win you want to build on, the type he'll look back in the future and say, hey, remember how we played in this game? We were doing this and we were doing that, and that's what we need to do right now. I think there's still some work to be desired at the offensive end for Los Gatos, but defensively, this is definitely a big building block.
We'll get you the final stats for the scores for both teams. John Joffrey had 3 points, Braden Taormina with 2, Cody Brown with 1, and Marko Mihalovic with 21 on the night, 21 of the 41 for Los Gatos. Noah Newberry had a free throw. Quinn Olasek had 5, a 3, and Raj Rao had 2. Oliver Aristeel with 6 on the night. For the visiting team, the Los Altos Eagles, Eric Jones had 4. Tetz led the way, or was second in scoring with 8. 3 for Chris Lewis at the end. Susko led the way with 11 and 11 points, but 7 of those coming from the free throw line. Antonio Benavidez had 2, and Chris Shell had 5 in the game. It does not look like Coach Osby's coming out, so we'll go ahead and wrap up here. Spencer, any final thoughts before we say goodbye?
Well, you mentioned Brock Susko there, 11 points, 7 of them at the free throw line. That was their best source of offense, was getting into the lane and trying to get to the free throw line. But really, I think if you're Los Altos, the attention's got to be at the offensive end. 41 points is not a bad defensive effort. They forced a number of turnovers down the stretch. I think they did a good job mixing up their looks as well and having a high defensive intensity. We really saw that in the fourth quarter from guys like Eric Jones. But offensively, they've got to be able to find more of a rhythm. They've got to just, plainly hit more shots, but I think they need to not settle. They took a lot of shots early in the shot clock when they didn't necessarily have to, but I'd like to see them get a little bit more movement and work on their zone offense. I mean, their zone offense really struggled tonight. It looked like they were supposed to be running high-low, but the bigs weren't quite on the same page, and they weren't overloading a side. They set just kind of a screen here and there. We're letting the guy with the ball do whatever, and that's not a sustainable way to beat a zone. You've got to find weaknesses and exploit them and not just rely on one-on-one matchups, and I think they were doing that too much tonight, and I think that's the adjustment they have to make offensively going forward against the zone, as well as just knocking out shots.
Well, I'm Carlo Jimenez alongside Spencer McLaughlin. Our next broadcast here on CCS Sports will be Valley Christian at Sarah, 6:40 pregame for that from 7 p.m. tip. Thank you for staying with us here tonight. Final score one more time from Los Gatos. The Wildcats pick up their first win of the year, 41-31, as we will close up. Have a nice night, ladies and gentlemen.